Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is a tapestry crochet skull. The reason it has this border around it is because I actually turned it into a Halloween bag. I bought these bags from Michaels. I made the Grafgan. I put a border around it. I put felt on the back of it. I can't show you because it's all glued. And then I used concrete cement, or no, what's it called? Contact cement? Glue, because it's the best. And I glued that, well, I glued the felt on to the back, and then I glued this to the bag, which is why I have a bag inside, so that the glue didn't go through. But, so I turned it into a Halloween bag for my granddaughter. So you don't have to do all of this today, it's just maybe an idea. So what you see in white is what we're doing today. It's just going to be the tapestry crochet skull. And this time around I'm going to do the skull in the white, which will be my color B. And then the black will be my color A, and that'll be the base. I am using a 6mm crochet hook. Let's jump right into this. You're going to need to chain 20 with your color A. Whatever colors you're using makes no difference. That's my 20. You're going to do 19 single crochets back up with your color A. So we're not introducing any new colors yet. Please do not go into the back bumps, because you may need the other side of the stitch later on. Especially if you're going to do a bag, you'll need to put a border around this. So we're going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work. So round 2 is when we're going to add our white, or our color B. But first we're going to do 6 single crochets with our color A. On your 6th stitch, you're just going to pull up a loop. You're going to add your color. So I'm going to finish the stitch with my new color, because my next stitch is going to be with the white. So just pull everything down and get everything into place. You don't have to weave everything along if you're making a bag like me, because I just I put felt on the back, so I have stragglers. But if you need it done on both sides, then you'll have to weave everything in. And it's harder to do that with the white because it's so my white's a lot thinner than my black. With your color B, you're going to do 7 single crochets. So this is my 7th one. I'm going to pull up the loop, but I'm going to finish it with my black. And then with my black, I'm going to do 6 single crochets. make sure you get this turning over stitch. That's your 6th one. Chain 1, turn your work. So now you're going to have a good side and a bad side if you're doing it like me. So that's going to be my bad side. And I'm going to remember that because of my little straggler here. So round 3 is going to be 5 single crochets. This is my 5th stitch. So now that I'm on the bad side, I'm going to take my yarn and I'm just going to kind of fold it over like that. And I'm going to finish that stitch with my white. But try not to pull too hard. And now this piece is blocking a stitch, so you got to make sure that you're still going to get in there. You want to do 9 single crochets in the white. This is my 9th one, so I'm going to pull up a stitch. I'm going to bring my piece across. I'm going to grab my black, and I'm going to finish the stitch. So with my black, I'm going to do 5 single crochets. That takes me right to the end where I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work. So that's my good side, that's my bad side. Just make sure when you pull across you keep this fairly loosey-goosey. We are going to weave this in. I'm not going to get this one weaved in, but I'm at least going to weave this one in on my next turn. So round 4, we're going to do 4 single crochets. Pull out my black. We're going to do 4 single crochets. So make sure you're getting into this first stitch. You got to pull everything back to get into that first stitch. And I know this might be hard to see because it's black. So this is my 4th stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to finish that with my white. So now I'm going to weave in stuff at the back. With your color B, you're going to do 11 single crochets. So I'm going to weave in all this, including the black that I'm using right now. That's how I keep it clean back there. But you can only do it every other row. So that's my 11th stitch. I'm going to finish with my black. And I'm going to do 4 single crochets with the black. I'm not weaving in my white, I just let it drop. Chain 1, turn your work. So round 5 is pretty involved. It's going to be a lot of changing colors. We're going to do 4 single crochets with our color A. So on the 4th one, you're going to pull up a loop. Now we're on the crappy side, so bring your strand over to this side so you can grab your white, finish the stitch. With the white, you're going to do 1 single crochet. So you're basically going in, pulling up a loop, and changing again. So finish that with your black. With the black, you're going to do 1 single crochet. So you're going to go in and bring up the loop, and you're going to cross over, grab your white, finish the stitch. With the white, you're going to do 1 single crochet. So you're going to pull up a loop, you're going to cross over, you're going to grab your black and finish the stitch. This is going to be 1 single crochet, finish the stitch. With B, you're going to do 1 single crochet. So we're doing this all the way across, in case you haven't noticed. You got to make the teeth somehow. So again, with your black, 1 single crochet. A lot of switching. One single crochet. One single crochet. One single crochet. All the way across. And one more. We were just following where we were in the first place. So pull up your loop. You're going back to your black or whatever your base color is. And that's it. You're going to do the 4 single crochets that you have left with your base color. Chain 1, turn your work. So that's the worst part over there. So with your base color alone, which means no white is involved with this, you're going to do 19 single crochets, which is just from right to left all the way across. I'm going to weave in my white because I'm going to need it over here when I come back. Just make sure you don't skip any stitches here. It is quite difficult to not skip them, just because there's so many changes. So I still have 19 stitches. It's always good to check, just to make sure. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 7. You're going to do 6 single crochets. This is my 6th stitch, so I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to cross over. I'm going to finish that with my white. With my white, I'm going to do 1 single crochet. So I'm basically going to pull up a loop and I'm going to switch again. I'm going to do 1 single crochet. I'm going to switch again. So we're doing this again all the way across. Switch again. So you're going to do this until you have 6 single crochets left. So I got one more to do. Two, three, four, five, six. Somehow I screwed that up because I should be in my black, but I'm not in my black. So just make sure you're in your base color. Somewhere I went wrong. 6 single crochets. I have 5, so I'm not sure where I went wrong, unless maybe I just wrote it down wrong. So I don't know. Moving on. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think anybody will notice my mistake if there is one. You're going to do 4 single crochets. So on your 4th stitch, you're going to finish the stitch with your white. Whatever you have in the back, you can weave in. You're going to do 11 single crochets with your color B. That's my 11th. So I'm going to pull up a loop, finish it with my black, and with my black I'm going to do 4 single crochets. I apparently have 5 single crochets. Yeah, something's wrong. I've missed something somewhere. I don't know where. I'm just going to keep going. I'm using a ruler, so I'm not screwing up my rows at all, so I'm not sure. I'm just going to read you the numbers that I have, but I got a feeling my skull's going to be crooked. In the mouth area anyway, somewhere I went wrong. So this should be 3 single crochets. I'm not sure how. So you're going to start just one before the color change. Ignore the fact that I just did more than that. Switch to your white. There's a stitch in there somewhere. You're going to do 13 white, or whatever color you're using. So you're going to go 1 out. So we're widening it. So finish that 13th stitch with your black. Make sure you're not pulling. And then 3 single crochets with your black. So it seems I just got extra stitches on this side, but not this side, so I'm not sure where I went wrong. I went wrong somewhere. So around 10, you're going to do 2 single crochets. So on your second one, you're going to switch. Then with your color white, color B, you're going to do 6 single crochets. So I'm weaving in all this crap at the back. That's my 6th one. With your black, you're going to do 3 single crochets. So on your 3rd stitch, you're going to switch again. And then you're going to do 6 single crochets with your white. This is my 6th stitch. I'm going to finish it with my black. And you're going to do 2 single crochets. Me, I'm apparently doing 3 single crochets. But hey, maybe you're just like me and your numbers are the same. I doubt it. Chain 1, turn your work. Number 11. You're going to do 2 single crochets. Apparently I'm going to do 3 because this is the wrong side. I'm going to mark the wrong side just so I'm aware that this side is not got the right count. Oh, sorry. On your 2nd stitch, you're going to finish it with your white. With the white, you're going to do 7 single crochets. So on your 7th stitch, so you've already started into the nose, you're going to go to your black, finish the stitch. With black, you're going to do 1 single crochet. So you're just pulling up a loop and going back to your white. And then you're going to do 7 white. That's my 7th stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, finish it with my black, and then I'm going to do my 2 single crochets, chain 1, turn my work. I think this looks better than the other one that I did, just because of the colors. So, row 12 is going to be 1 single crochet. So I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to switch to my white. I'm going to weave in at the back on this row because this is the good side. You're going to do 17 white. So this is my 17th one. I'm going to go to my black. I'm going to do my 1 single crochet with my black, chain 1 and turn. Well, I somehow have 2. As we know, I've got an extra stitch, so chain 1, I'm going to turn my work. If I try to fix that extra stitch right now, it won't look right. Something will happen where it's not going to look right. So if you're getting a little twisted like me, just take your work and untwist. Then you're all set. Just a couple of times around is all you need. We're almost done. There's 24 rows. And, sorry, I'm just trying to get my ruler in the right position. That's hard to see. The paper's kind of bent the wrong way because I folded it. And I made the mistake of folding it. So, you've got 1 single crochet. I've got 2, so just ignore that. After your first stitch, of course, you're going to bring your piece back. So it's not so bad on the bad side. I mean, it looks obviously way better on this side, but the bad side's not too bad for stragglers doing it this way. So you're going to do 4 color B's, which is my white. So on your 4th stitch, you're going to pull up a loop, and you're going to finish that stitch with your black. With the black, you're going to do 2 single crochets. So on the second one, you're going to go back to your white, finish the stitch. With your white, you're going to do 5 single crochets. On your 5th stitch, you're going to go back to the black. You're going to do 2 single crochets. So we're doing the eyes now. So on your 2nd stitch, you're going to pull up a loop, and you're going to finish that stitch with your white. I'm going to pull down on my black a little bit. With your white, you're going to do 4 single crochets. And on your 4th one, you're going to finish that with your black and do your 1 single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 14 and 15 are exactly the same. So you do your 1 single crochet. So pull up a loop and change to white. Weave everything in at the back. You're going to do 3 color B's. So on your 3rd stitch, you're going to switch to black. And you're going to do 4 single crochets. I'm weaving in everything at the back. That's my 4th stitch. So I'm going to finish it with the white. I'm going to do 3 color B's. I'm going to finish that with my black. I'm going to do 4. Almost got lost. I'm going to do 4 black. So I'm going to finish that with my color B. Color B. I'm going to do 3 single crochets. I'm going to finish that with my black and do my 1 single crochet, but as you know, for me it's going to be 2 because this is my bad side. Chain 1, turn your work. And repeat this row 1 more time. Chain 1, turn your work. So, that's how much we got done. It's looking pretty sharp. Excuse me. Round 16 is going to be 1 single crochet. So you're going to have to finish that stitch with your white. You're going to do 4 color B, which is your white. On your 4th stitch, you need to finish that with your black. You're going to do 2 single crochets with your black. So on the 2nd stitch, you're going to finish that with your white. With your white, you're going to do 5 single crochets. On your 5th stitch, you're going to finish it with your black. And you're going to do 2 single crochets with your black. So the 2nd stitch, you're going to finish with the color white. You're going to do 4 single crochets in white. You're going to finish that with your black, and you're going to do your 1 single crochet with black. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 17 to 19. So the next 3 rows are going to be exactly the same, and they're so easy peasy. So you're going to do your 1 single crochet. Finish that with your white. And you're going to crochet white all the way across till you have 1 stitch left, which is then your black. This is my 17th stitch, so I'm going to finish it with my black, and I'm going to do my 1 single crochet in black, chain 1, turn my work. Oh, I forgot to bring my white forward again. What is the matter with me? Bring my white forward. If you don't do that, it just hangs out the front and looks horrible. You're going to do that. I'm going to weave in, obviously. Hold too tight on that. You're going to do that for the next 2 rows by yourself. So this is what you should have. For now, we're on row 20, so we only have a few left. So it's not that big. I mean, really, that's why I put the border on mine. It's not even 6 inches wide. And so far, it's not even 6 inches tall. So, it's fairly small, so, but it's super, super cool. So we're on row 20. I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So I'll pull up my second stitch and I'll finish it with my white. With my white, I'm going to do 15 single crochets. That's my 15th stitch. I'm going to finish it with my black. And I'm going to do 2 single crochets. I have 3 because this is my bad side. 2 single crochets, chain 1 and turn. Row 21 is going to be 3 single crochets. So we're bringing the head in, so you're going to be going into your white stitch. On your third stitch, you're going to finish that with your white, and you're going to do 13 single crochets. So this is my 13th stitch. I'm going to finish it with my black, and I'm going to do 3 single crochets. Chain 1, turn my work. Round 22 is 4 single crochets. So again, you're going into the white part. This is number 4. So I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to finish it with my white. And with your white, you're going to do 11 single crochets. Weaving in all this crap at the back. This is 11th stitch. I'm going to finish it with my black, and I'm going to do 4 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 23, you're going to do 5 single crochets. So on your 5th stitch, you're going to bring up your white, finish the stitch, and with your white you're going to do 9 single crochets. So this is my 9th stitch. I'm going to bring up the loop, and I'm going to finish the stitch with my black, and then I'm going to do 5 single crochets. chain one, turn your work. The very last row is going to be just done in your black, but I'm going to weave in my white anyway and all this other crap just to keep it clean, obviously, but it's just one single crochet in each stitch. There we go. So I went from 19 stitches to 20 stitches. But throughout my project, literally from the mouth up, I ended up with an extra stitch. Somewhere in here I screwed up, and you can't really tell. By looking at it, it still looks exactly like a skull. This one turned out way better than this one. This one's going on a Halloween bag. But this one turned out way better. So it's not that big. You can put a border around it if you want, but just remember, you got to keep it square. So you're going to have to put, you know, like you do with a granny square, 2 single crochets, chain 1, 2 single crochets in the same stitch on each corner to keep it a corner. But all in all, this is 7 inches long, just about 6 inches wide. So it's not that big, but with a border, it can be anything that you want it to be. And that is it. That is, you just have to fasten off, and whatever you got back in here, like I've got my white back here, that just gets weaved in. But my suggestion for weaving is not just to go in and out, in and out, in and out. I actually go through the yarn. Like I like to go through the yarn. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not going out and around it. I'm going through it, so I'm splitting the yarn. It just gives a much better hold, in my opinion. But if you're putting felt on the back of this, it doesn't really matter. So just fasten off, weave in all your ends, and that is it. That is my skull tapestry crochet. What I planned on doing with mine, because I'm not turning this one into a Halloween bag like my other one, so I thought I would just give you an idea. I'm going to snip my white off because I'm still attached with my black, but I want this to be a wall hanging. I think that'd be super cool. So I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to do a couple of rows extra on top of what I got, 2 or 3 depending on the size of your hanger, and I'm going to turn it into almost like a bunting. I think it would be fun to hang on my front door at Halloween time. So my first round is the single crochets. I have a really thin stick. It's a dowel. You can buy these at Michael's. You can buy a whole package of different sizes. My next row is going to be probably half double crochets, and I'm going to interweave this, so I'll show you. So chain 2 and turn, if you're doing what I'm doing, and all of this is going to be either a double or a half double. I'm just doing a half double all the way along. I've got this, my half doubles, so that I can weave my stick in. So in and out of the posts like this. So I can hang it just like that. So here you can fasten off. You just need to, whatever you're going to weave. Let's weave all this in first, and then I'll show you what I do. I'm just going to tie string, or you can make a cord if you want to make a cord. You probably will have to block this. So once you get everything weaved in, so once you come to the end, that is what it's going to look like. And then you can cut your pieces off if it's too long. Make a slip knot. So I changed how I did my thing, so now I got a new stick, and I reattached, and I just did a chain right off the work, and then reattached, did my knots, weaved in all my ends, then I put the stick through. That just looks way better to me. That's how I did that. So I just wanted to add that to the video because what I did looked like crap. And I done this with my other tapestry crochet that I did, and I really liked the look of it, so I decided to change it for the skull as well. So anyway, once again, thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.